Diego Ribas, honest about Flamengo's current phase, and Lucas Paquetá even compares it to moments he has experienced at Mengo. An interesting reflection from the former Flamengo player, champion, multi-champion with Mengao. And we're also going to bring here this interview he gave to some journalists during the tennis championship. And we also have here to bring you other information, a situation involving the Brazilian Football Confederation, which extended the player transfer window. Flamengo still has a chance to make a signing until the 27th. We're going to talk about that. You can follow these and other news right now here on the Paparazzo Rubro Negro channel. I invite you to follow, like, and share on all platforms. Let's go all in, try to change this energy, God willing. Flamengo winning today, playing well, is not a benchmark. I'll say it again. Even the Madureira semifinal is not a benchmark. A good win today is not a benchmark. But for turning things around again for Flamengo, to see if these guys have a bit of motivation, desire, hunger to win, to see if Felipe Luiz can shake up this squad, can change things up a bit in this pressured moment. It's also important to give the players rhythm and keep repeating the lineup. You can't change everything every game, and you need to stick to your convictions. And there are players who are used more than others, while some who are in better form don't get a chance. So that's complicated, but let's hope Flamengo can turn things around starting today. But I'll say it again, today Flamengo versus Madureira is not a benchmark. That's for sure. Look, we show up here just like that. Hey guys, red and black greetings. This is Flamengo. Welcome to the Paparazzo channel. Brunico, for you who are joining, I invite you to follow, like, and share on all platforms. If you're on YouTube, I invite you to subscribe down below, turn on notifications by clicking the bell, and leave a cool like on the video. Here we are. With the support of YouTube Shopping, you can get your Flamengo basketball jersey, and you can also get your other jerseys. Tank tops, sleeveless shirts. It's always hot here, Rio de Janeiro. The heat is coming back here, and where I live too. We went through a cold spell, but now we can go back to wearing tank tops. And you can get yours at the YouTube store. And help Flamengo, because it's an official product. I only promote official products here, and Flamengo gets royalties when the product is official. When you buy the official Mengao product, you're helping the most beloved team in the world. And also remember that we're here thanks to the sponsorship of Haroldo's Caravan. You can secure your spot at Flamengo's games with the Caravan, the most reliable company I've ever worked with. They are incredible. For years, they've been taking Flamengo's players and fans to Mengo's games, and they do excellent work. Just like Mais Cabello, also in weight loss, you can lose weight in a healthy way without hair loss with medical supervision. At Mais Cabello, all over Brazil, there's a Mais Cabello clinic near you everywhere in Brazil. You can also get a free evaluation and solve your hair loss problem and also baldness. Everything else, everything for hair health. Let's go. Look, Diego Ribas, I'm going to get straight to the point. That's why he talked about Flamengo's situation, the arrival of Lucas Paquetá. And we're going to react here to what Diego Ribas said to the people from Lansen Entertainment and Sports Programming Network. There are other journalists who were also present. Let's listen here. Both are tough. We know that they start to come.
And the pressure keeps going.
The security continues, and what Flamengo did last year has to be respected. Diego Ribas said, they want to have the result. And the players who are there know that. It's important for him to say that, unlike what happened, we'll also take his statement about Felipe Coutinho. Unlike what happened at Vasco, where Felipe Coutinho ended up leaving because of pressure from fans and so on. Diego said that at Flamengo, the player has to like this pressure, that the pressure has to continue, and that the players themselves will want to change this situation.
But of course, at the moment,
the solution is inside. just like the problems, the solution is inside. So Flamengo will find it. He's sure that Flamengo will find the path to good soccer and will win. You were a midfielder. Well, it's the beginning, okay? It's still the beginning of Paquetá's new journey. This Recopa title is very important. This comeback, this victory is very important. Flamengo needs to win, but obviously I'm quite worried about this start. The one from 25 looks similar to 23, and even similar to that Flamengo against Independiente. When Paquetá was on the field, he scored the goal, Maracanã, and it ended in a draw. So we have to stay alert because Flamengo really needs this title. Let's see what Diego will say about Paquetá's arrival, but I think it's impossible to deny that it was a fantastic move by Flamengo. Whether it will work out or not, that's another story. No. What he's going to say about Paquetá.
Let's go. Diego's going to talk about Paqueta's arrival. So, he found Flamengo at its best collective moment, and individually, we know he will improve, he can improve, but the expectation is very good, the expectation is very good. He's a great player, he has a wonderful history with Flamengo. I think these difficult moments can't from Paquetá.
So Diego Ribas talking about Lucas Paquetá, I agree. I think there's a rush in the analysis, especially regarding Lucas Paquetá, and there's an exaggeration when it comes to Felipe Luiz. I've already said that he's not managing to do a good job this year. He's not able to get this team to play, but there's also an exaggeration in the criticism. Yes, it bothers me some situations involving Samuel, Lino Plata, and company, players that I think are better than them and deserve a run, like Everton Araujo himself in the midfield and Cebolinha too. So it's just a matter of us believing that certain players, based on merit, deserved more opportunities. And it's a specific criticism. And I'm not asking for Felipe Luiz to be fired. I'm asking for patience, actually. I'm sure he'll come back. He'll do a great job for Flamengo in 2026. I repeat, he'll do a great job. I believe that many fans will be upset with Felipe Luiz's statement regarding the issue of racism with Vini Jr. because he really even had to explain himself. It was a statement that irritated a lot of people, including me. I didn't like some of the things he said. I expected much more of a defense from him right away. Thank you from Flamengo, a player revealed by Flamengo Brazilian Black who needed all the support. He explained himself, but left some points unclear. But I think that even with everything that's happening, I'll never stop rooting for a great idol of Flamengo, a player who has a history of winning titles and respecting the club. Thank you, player and a coach who is already so successful at his age with so little time on the job. And I believe he can turn things around. Yes. So I believe in Felipe's comeback. I believe the solution is inside, like Diego said. And he will find the solution. But he needs to stop insisting on certain players and start giving opportunities to those who deserve it. And try, I say it again, to find a sequence, to give a sequence to a team, to find a starting lineup or something close to that at least, Felipe. You needed to find the backbone of this team, the structure of this team, at least 6 or 7 players who are always playing, who are in sync. That's my idea when you change everything all the time and insist with some players who are even annoying the fans. Some players like Cebolinha ask for chances but can't get consistent playing time or a full match. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I believe you can do that again for Flamengo. Do your best for Flamengo. Look, thank you. Game actions and also the transfer window issue. Diego Ribas also talked about the Felipe Coutinho situation.
It's something very personal. I've been with Coutinho. We were together on the national team, so I really respect his history in football. In my situation, as I said, I don't know the behind the scenes, how Coutinho's day-to-day was. I don't know exactly what's going on, so it's even hard to give an opinion, but I can speak for myself. Like you said, I came here prepared. I knew everything I was going to face, the challenge, the project we had ahead of us, and that there would be pressure, so I decided to face it. No matter what, I would do it all over again. It was a tough, delicate situation I wouldn't wish on anyone. Our soccer must keep evolving, and athletes deserve more respect.
But he still didn't hold back from criticizing Coutinho, did he? He would do it all over again, face everything all over again, all that pressure again. And he already said before, right there, when he talks about Felipe, about Paquetá, about Flamengo's moment, it's that there has to be pressure. He emphasizes he was always ready for this pressure, unlike Coutinho, right?
But, if necessary, that's how I face my life. Facing this kind of situation to achieve my dreams, to reach my goals. I do it again, I would do it all over again. So, that's my situation. I wish all the best for Coutinho. Thank you.
So he speaks there with respect, obviously, but making it clear that he is, right? He wouldn't fear living through everything again. He'd actually want to, especially at Flamengo. So we have here to bring to you all the behind the scenes, actually, all the information about the game coming up soon, right? Flamengo faces Madureira under pressure there at Maracanã. Winning is a must. Losing is impossible, right? Losing means creating even more pressure, okay? So it's that situation where you can't lose, but you also have the obligation to win and to win well, okay? So the game is at 8:30 post-meridium. Initially treated as a secondary priority, the state championship has gained importance in light of recent results. As the current Brazilian Libertadores champion, the team is under pressure because of their performances. Below, as many have commented, in fact, it was a performance against Lanús, and if Lanús hadn't respected Flamengo so much, they would have left there with a thrashing, right? So, heavy criticism from the fans. The issue I mentioned about Felipe, about his statement, which has a lot of fans upset, right? And that this could even create some animosity in the stadium. And I hope that at this moment, the fans will just support Flamengo. We have the return of Alassian, who might be back on the roster today. According to GE, the young player has already done part of the training with the group after feeling muscle pain, but it's still not certain. But he could be back. Meanwhile, Jorginho is still recovering. And not even against Lanús, Maracanã is likely to be on the roster. There's a big chance he won't be included against Lanús. Look, let me bring you all the information about the 8:30 post-meridium game at Maracanã Stadium, broadcast on Sport Television, GE Television, and Premiere. And abroad, here abroad, with footage, with broadcast, with commentary by João Guilherme. It's the first leg, then, of the Carioca Championship semifinal, the probable lineup for Flamengo. It's Andrew, right? Is this information from GE? Andrew Royal, Danilo Vitão, and Ayrton Lucas. Yeah, so Flamengo isn't bringing Rossi. Like I said, a goalkeeper needs rhythm, right? I don't like constantly changing goalkeepers. Sure, the other one needs a chance, but frequent changes stop the main goalkeeper from finding rhythm. Andrew Royal, I've already said this too. Varela is asking for a spot. Varela was one of the best, one of the only ones who did well against Lanús. Then you go back to Royal because you want to get Royal back in form. Man, give your team rhythm. Give rhythm to the players who are doing well. Danilo and Vitão, okay. Ayrton Lucas, okay. Alexandre hasn't shown up this season yet. Alexandre is doing really badly. Pulgar. Okay, so is it Pulgar or Everton Araujo? No, I would go with Pulgar and Everton Araujo, but according to GE, it's Pulgar or Everton Araujo. Paquetá, Carrascal, and not Arrascaeta. Okay, so Carrascal is playing in Arrascaeta's position because Arrascaeta still hasn't found his good form. In 2026, it's Plata, and then it's hard to understand. Maybe I would play with Paqueta there, which is not my preference. Or even Luiz Araujo himself to give Luiz Araujo some rhythm, but there's no reason for Plata to be playing. Oh, but he's doing really well in training. Samuel Lino, who he's already made it clear he's only putting in because he wants to recover the investment, wants to recover the player. But with that, he doesn't use Cebolinha, who needs rhythm, doesn't use Bruno Henrique, who also needs to be playing, who's at an age where he needs to be playing. And in the place he likes to play on the left, but he prefers Lino, and then in attack, Pedro or Bruno Henrique in a position that's not theirs. So these situations are complicated. I hope he goes in with, for me, the team he should use and give them rhythm. Rossi, Varela, so that's it. That's my lineup that should be used and should have continuity. Then, when they're doing well, they can come in. The others would be Rossi, Varela, Danilo, Vitão, Ayrton, Lucas, Pulgar, Everton, Araújo. Yeah, and that could work. Paquetá playing in the midfield. Yeah, I would put Carrascal on the right, Cebolinha on the left, and Pedro, okay? I would play like that. I would play like that. But what about Luiz Araujo? No, then I would put Carrascal on the right and Paquetá in the midfield and come in with Pulgar and Everton. Araujo, okay, since there's no Saul, no Jorginho, I would go with this lineup. I think you could give this team some rhythm. The probable lineup for Madureira, Neguete, Coutinho, Marcão, Jean, and Julião, Rodrigo Lindoso, João Fubá, and Juninho, Maranhão, Jacó, and Everton, Coach Toninho Andrade. The referee is Lucas Coelho Santos from Rio de Janeiro, and the video assistant referee is Paulo Renato Moreira da Silva Coelho, also from Rio de Janeiro. All right, so we have here the situation to share with you regarding the Brazilian Football Confederation, right? Expanding the transfer window in Brazilian football, the Brazilian Football Confederation has extended the window that was supposed to end on March 3rd to the 27th of the month. But hold on, there's an explanation here. It's not for all players, okay? The clubs received the change by official letter, but it wasn't in the official calendar of Brazilian football released in October. It's important to highlight that the internal transfer window can only be used for negotiations involving athletes who played in the state championships. For those players who played in the state championships, for teams that won't play in any national competitions in Brazil, so that these players can be transferred, or even those who performed well in the state championships can be sold and the clubs can earn some money. After all, many clubs survive thanks to the state championships by selling and negotiating some players. So the Brazilian Football Confederation extended this state championship transfer window, okay? The state championship window goes until March 27th, according to Fred Caldeira, his initial information. So Flamengo now has the chance to sign a player, a forward. Flamengo is looking for this forward until March 27th, so there are about 20 more days besides March 3rd, which was originally planned. That's right, that's it, my predicted score for the upcoming game. 4-1 for Flamengo. Ideally, it would be 3-0, right? 3-0. Flamengo needs to stop conceding goals because the biggest problem for Flamengo is the defense besides the animosity and apathy, man. Flamengo needs to turn things around, but they need to stop conceding goals every game, every game. The only team that didn't score against Flamengo out of all the recent ones was Vasco. Flamengo needs games where they don't concede goals. Flamengo needs to recover its defensive sector. Flamengo needs to recover its defense. That's the big problem for Flamengo today. And some players who aren't doing well, like Arrascaeta, still haven't hit a good phase. And they can't make assists or decisive passes. That makes a big difference. That's right. That's it. I invite you to follow, like, and share on all platforms. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, enable notifications, and like the video. Greetings, Bruno Negras. This is Flamengo, all right?